Refreshing. Dímelo, familia, what's up? Family, welcome back to episode 2 of the No Human is Limited series, Twin Cities Marathon. Siri.
The Twin Cities Marathon.
Not you, Siri. Oh, Lord. Anyway, as I was saying before I got interrupted by, I'm not going to say the name because then she's going to pop up. But yes, today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, and it is episode 2 of the series. Okay. Episode 2. And first episode, I had a bunch of footage of the different runs that I did back then, kind of like at the second or third week of the training plan. Right now we're on week 11, like halfway point of week 11. I actually have a long run, or not long run, but a recovery run of 4.2 miles. And I'm actually going to pull it up to give you guys a little bit more context on my training plan. So yeah, tomorrow I have a recovery run of 4.3 miles. And then the day after that, I'm supposed to have a rest day and then do the long run technically on Saturday, which the long run is 12.4 miles. But because we're going, which there's a lot going on that I haven't catch up with you guys, but this weekend we're gonna go to Colorado on a road trip. Corbin and I are gonna go to Colorado for one of her college friends' wedding. So instead of flying there, we decided why not make it a whole weekend thing and do a road trip. So in preparation for that is Saturday. Early in the morning, we gotta start driving. On Friday, Corbin and I actually have tickets to go to the Marias concert. Now, you might not know who the Marias is, but if you know, you know. That's indie pop band that I love, and I have the opportunity to go with Corbin to their concert on Friday. So maybe I'll incorporate, even though this is a marathon series, I'm still gotta incorporate some lifestyle so that you guys can know that, hey, we can work hard for a goal, but we can also have fun along the way. So we have that concert on Friday here in downtown Minneapolis. It's actually at the Armory. So we're gonna do that on Friday and then go to bed and then wake up early morning Saturday and start driving. I think it's 13 and a half hour drive to, I think Denver is where we're going, but Colorado. So we're gonna do that, and in preparation for that, I decided to kind of stack my runs this week. And because I noticed that with every now and then I would take some rest days and like additional rest days. In some weeks when I was looking at, I have 11 weeks left, and 11 weeks left go over the marathon race day. So I'm stacking days so that way I can kind of finish the training plan with the marathon and kind of make that the wrap up. So this week I did the recovery run on Monday. I did the recovery run of 35 minutes, something light. Then yesterday I did a recovery run of 25 minutes. Today, as you guys saw, I did intervals, speed run, and it was basically 5-minute warm up and then 3 sets of 7 minutes at 5K pace with a rest of 2 minutes and 30 seconds in between them. I honestly felt really good today. My legs felt good. I was able to go at a faster pace. And although I'm gonna put here what the Nike Run Club app was telling me that my pace was, but then Corbin borrowed me her Apple Watch, so I started using it this week, and I've noticed a discrepancy between the time per mile on the watch and the time per mile on the app when I'm holding it on my hand, basically. Because before I had this, or before Corbin borrowed it to me, all my runs for this training plan for the past month have been just me carrying the phone while I'm running. So you can think of, if it's like a 25-minute run, 35-minute run. I had one run the other last week of an hour and 49 minutes carrying my phone, even though it might not weigh a lot, it adds up. And it's kind of not shown any progress when it comes to my pacing. So I felt frustrated at times because I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm going decently fast and it still says like I'm running a 10:30 per minute per mile pace. Anyway, we're just going to continue, do our best effort. So like I mentioned, this week we're halfway through. So tomorrow, instead of having that rest day, we're just going to go into the recovery run of 4.3 miles, which should be a nice little run, which it's crazy, bro. It's crazy for me to say that 4.3 miles, it's just light work, because before this training plan, even running a mile was like a lot for me. You know, in high school, way back in the day, I did cross country and we did 5Ks in multiple weekends in a row. And that was my senior year for the championship, regular season championship of cross country. But I've never run anything above a 5K. So to see that I did 6 miles, I think it was on week 14, then I did 8.2 miles the week after that. Then last week I did 10, or 2 weeks ago I did 10 miles. Then last week I did 9.3. Just, it's crazy to me. And even tracking it on the app, I'm gonna put it right here so you guys can check it out. The month of July so far, I have 80.1 miles, bro. Miles. That's the most I've ran even in my sports life when I was in high school. That's the most I've done, 80 miles in the month of July. And then so far this week, 7.8 miles, which I'm gonna put it right here for you guys. And then for the year, and by year, I just mean I started my training plan in June, at the end of June. So I would say in about a month and some days, bro, look at this. I'm taking screenshots so I can capture it and show it to you guys. Look at the craziness. 92.7 miles in a month. That goes to show the title of the series, and I'm gonna go back to this. The title of the series is "No Human is Limited," and that's not a catchphrase or a thing that I came out with. It's something that this guy, you know, I even have his shoes right here. Eliud Kipchoge from Kenya, arguably the best marathoner of all time. He always talked about and talks about no human is limited. Like, the limits only exist in your mind. If you're able to endure the pain, if you're able to you know, imagine running as life, going through ups and downs during training, growing, failing, getting up, and learning throughout the process, that will show you that no human is limited. And even a couple of weeks ago when I did those 10 miles, I felt really proud of myself because I didn't take a break, I didn't stop, and I actually did it without music, which was crazy. An hour 49 of just me and my mind going at it for the entire duration, and I was able to kind of get it done. And that showed me, the potential that if I'm able to do 10 miles, I can do 10 more miles, and that would only leave me with 6.2 more, and that's right there a marathon. So going back to this 92.7 miles so far in my training plan, that goes to show if before this, I hadn't run in years. I would only just jog or just for cardio and warm up. I never actually focus on running, endurance, speed, my cadence and pace, the way that my feet land when I'm running, and my consistent rhythm. Now I've become a runner, and now I feel proud that this is a part of the lifestyle that I've incorporated, and now I'm stepping into a new chapter, a much healthier lifestyle. So 92.7, and there's still tomorrow, it's July 31st, so with that 4.3 mile, it'll put me a little under 100 miles, but to see like almost in less than 2 months that I'll get to 100 miles, it just blows my mind. But yeah, this is pretty much episode 2. I just wanted to kind of tap in with you guys and give you a little bit of context on the marathon series, which I started about a month ago, the training plan itself, but I've been trying to figure out a way to document it for you guys here on YouTube and also on Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube Shorts with different short form videos. But I love that I'm documenting this because there has been days throughout this entire training plan where I haven't felt good about my runs, and I've actually felt like I've hadn't make any progress at all, and I hadn't gotten better. And my goal of running the marathon in 3 hours seemed like almost out of reach. But then I started to think about, it's a journey. There's still 11 weeks or 10 and a half weeks left until, 10 weeks left until marathon day. So there's a lot of change that can happen over the course of the next 2 months. So I just got to focus on taking it, as I say in my social media platforms on Instagram, TikTok, taking it one step at a time, taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. And that's kind of the mentality that you got to take when it comes to things like this, where it's a long process. Because in reality, if you focus on doing your best every single day, that bar that you set yourself, you're gonna get close to it or even exceed it. But it all comes down to you. And this series I wanted to create because I want to look back on it and see, I've never ran a marathon before, let alone a half marathon. So this is a chapter, a journey in my life where I could be like, hey, I challenged myself to do something that I've never done before, which is run a marathon. And in addition to that, another caveat that I'm going to mention to you guys and that I'm going to incorporate in the description of all my YouTube videos is I am actually a part of the Children's Cancer Research Fund team for the Twin Cities Marathon. So I'm actually a part of that team in finding new ways to help families and children battling cancer in getting the resources that they need to better the research, better the treatments for children that are going through cancer, and for any children in the future that may battle cancer. And that's something that's kind of close to my heart because my grandma passed away in 2012 from cancer, and that's something that really impacted me and my family. And still to this day, I have a picture of her somewhere here in the apartment and of my family. I actually have them right there, and I always keep that in mind. And when I decided to sign up for the marathon, I knew that if I can run not only for myself but for a bigger purpose, that I'm certainly going to do that, because that'll just give me an extra fuel to the fire during training and on marathon day. So if you want to support the team and my fundraiser, I have the link down below. My fundraiser goal is $750. I think right now I'm at $475. So any donations that you may want to do to my fundraiser, that'd be amazing. All the proceeds are not going to me. They're supporting my fundraiser, but they're supporting the overall goal of the team, of the Children's Cancer Research Fund team for the marathon, which the overall goal of the team is to reach $10,000. And we're, I think, a little over 8,000 so far, and it's the end of July. So we still got August and September and a few days until the marathon race in October 5th. So if you want to support in any way, and if it's not a monetary donation, if you want to share the link with family and friends and share it on your social media platforms, that will mean the world to me. And as I mentioned, I'm going to have the link all throughout the marathon series down below. And I'm going to continue to talk about children's cancer research and the organization throughout this entire training plan. So that way I'm not only supporting them through the fundraising aspect of it, but also throughout the advocate part and teaching you all that this is a thing that families go through, that is a struggle, and anything that we can do to help them, anything that you guys can do to help me to help them, that's just, it'll mean the world to me. But yeah, that's a little kind of caveat to this marathon, that it's not only me running the marathon for myself to challenge myself, but I'm running for a cause, and that's something that really means a lot. So I am going to stretch. I'm gonna continue to hydrate because that's important. Stretching and hydrating. I've gotten better at it. I'm not the best. Sometimes I got my faults. I fail at stretching or I fail at hydrating, but I'm gonna do that right now because it's almost 9 p.m. So that way I can shower, and Corbin and I are gonna wrap up the evening and relax because I'm debating whether I should do my 4-mile run tomorrow morning and get that knocked out of the way, or if I should do it in the evening. So we're gonna continue running this episode 2 of the No Human is Limited. So even if you're not running a marathon and you're just joining the journey, no human is limited. You're not limited. So whatever it is, whether that's a marathon, whether that's being an artist, a content creator, whether that is in your personal life, in your professional life, just remember, I'm the example. I hope that my story and my journey inspires you that no human is limited. So that's a lot of yapping. I see that 17 minutes of yapping. So I'm gonna, 15 to 17 minutes. I don't even know. The time says 17 minutes, but it's been rolling. But we're gonna keep it like that. We're just gonna keep it raw, unfiltered, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, depending how your boy is feeling. Also, tell me why, ever since I put this Apple Watch on, I feel like a legit runner. Like even you saw it at the previous clips, I was like looking at I'm telling you, having a running watch, whether it's an Apple Watch, a Garmin, a Coros, a Whoop, Fitbit, whatever the case may be, having something on your wrist gives you like 1,000 aura points, and it gets just. And me also, Corbin gave me a haircut, so it's been a while since I've gotten a haircut. So hey, it's your boy's got, looking fresh. So I had my little Nike hat on, plus the watch, plus the Gymshark oversized, and I was like, I looking like a pro about to run this marathon. I'm gonna like, yoom. So the entire day pretty much passed. It's like 11 at night. And after I finished my 4.3 mile run this morning, it was like 8:30. So I needed to get back, stretch, shower, hydrate, and get ready to go to work. So I wasn't able to catch up with you guys. On top of that, my battery was dead. So I needed to charge my battery. But yeah, it was a good run, but I spoke too soon this morning when I said, oh, it's going to be an easy 4.3 miles. Yeah, it wasn't that easy. I ended up doing, I'll put it right here so you guys can check it out. I did 4.35 miles at a 11:34 pace. So I ran for 50 minutes and 19 seconds with a cadence of almost 170. So that means that was a pretty consistent cadence. Um, the pace, I I don't know, like the pace. I'm gonna put the splits here so you guys can see. First mile 10:47, second mile 10:44, mile 3 11:03, mile 4 12:34. I don't understand the Nike Run Club app because I feel like I'm going fast, but it's not being reflected on the pace in the app. But on the Apple Watch, all the miles it said like 8 minute 58 seconds, 7:56, 8:08. So I think my goal is just do my effort, keep challenging myself to push a little bit more, a little bit longer, and continue to do that, and not pay too much attention to the pace right now. Once we get into next week or next couple of weeks, then I start getting more specific into, all right, what is the pace that I need to be at, and try to find whether it's the Nike Run Club app, the Apple Watch, or getting another watch. I'm debating of getting the Garmin watch, which I think there's one for like $250. That's the cheapest one that they have, just so I can have as accurate information as I can have when it comes to my pace, because I want to make sure that I'm training for my goal and that I'm progressing as the weeks go by. So yeah, this morning's run wasn't easy at all. Those 4.3 miles felt like forever, and it ended up being 50 minutes in the morning. And the rest of the day at work, it was pretty busy today, just getting things ready for the NFL season. Because if you're new to the channel, I work at the US Bank Stadium, which is where the Minnesota Vikings play. So we have preseason game next Saturday, and then the following Saturday after that. So right now we're kind of obviously doing day-to-day work, but getting things ready for the Viking season. So it's been getting busier and busier every day. And then after that, I picked up Corbin and we went to Rosedale Mall or Rosedale Center because I needed to get a shirt for the wedding that we're going to Colorado for on Sunday. We're actually driving on Saturday, but the wedding is on Sunday. And I needed a shirt, long sleeve shirt, to kind of match Corbin and make a nice little 1-2 punch couple at the wedding. And then she wanted some shoes for her outfit. So we ended up doing that for most of the evening. That took a couple hours, and then when we got back, we were pretty much tired. We laid in bed and continued watching WWE Unreal, which is the new Netflix series that they have. And it's been really interesting to see behind the scenes of how everything in wrestling, specifically WWE, the promotion WWE, how they do everything. And it's actually kind of healed my childhood kid, because I used to grow up, I grew up watching WWE and was a fan, but then when I went to high school and then college, it just wasn't a focus. But now I've gotten back to it, and it's been entertaining. So we've been watching that, and yeah, right now I'm just kind of stretching because my lower left leg and my legs feel a little bit tired. And obviously the reason for that is because, as I mentioned to you guys earlier today or yesterday, one of those, I've been stacking days this week, so I haven't had a rest day in the entire week. It's been like Monday, recovery run, Tuesday, recovery run, yesterday, speed run, today, recovery run of 4.3 miles. Tomorrow, I have a long run of 12. Let me double check. 12.4 miles tomorrow. So I actually got to wake up early in the morning and do that. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I did 10 miles, or sorry, correction, I did 9 miles last week, and I did them in an hour and 39 minutes. So I'm trying to get to the gym by 5:15, 5:30. So that way, if it takes me 2 hours, that gets me through 7:30 a.m. and I still have a chance to get ready, stretch, and then go to work. So we're getting to kind of like that half marathon stretch of the marathon training, and I want to make sure that my legs can, tackle that amount of mileage early in the morning, because after work it's the concert, and then on Saturday we're driving to Colorado. So we're actually leaving here at 5 a.m. on Saturday. So I literally have to do this. Like, even if I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to run, I have to run. So that's goes back to like not limiting yourself and challenging yourself, because there's going to be instances in anything in life that you have to, stay true to not your feelings but your plan, your goal, and execute. And that's what I need to do tomorrow. And tonight, what I'm doing is just setting myself up for success by stretching, hydrating, make sure that I have water in the system, and then having a good night's sleep and wake up and get back to the grind tomorrow, Friday, because tomorrow with that 12-mile run, 12.4 mile run, which is actually a 20K, that will be the end of week 11. So that'll give me a chance to, let's say if Saturday I end up not doing a run, then I can do a run on Sunday and get back on it, because the wedding is in the afternoon, so I might be able to run in the morning. And you typically, for what I've noticed on my training plan in the Nike Run Club app, if you do the marathon training plan, the first 2 days of the week are recovery runs, and typically they range anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes, or sometimes 25. For example, I'm gonna look ahead into next week. So week 10 is, so it's a 45-minute recovery run. Then the next day is a 32-minute recovery run. So that is pretty much the following week. So that would be for me Sunday and Monday. That'll be week 10, and then go from there. But one day at a time, one step at a time, and we are nearing 100 miles. You know how yesterday I told you we're close to hitting 100 miles in a little over a month, and in less than 2 months, which is crazy to me. I told you yesterday, your boy hasn't run this amount ever in his life. So if I'm able to do this for the first time, you're able to do anything as well, whether that's marathon training, half marathon, content creation. No human is limited is something that is across this entire journey in this entire series. Also, with the caveat from yesterday that I mentioned about my fundraiser, I am $175 from my goal of $750 for the fundraiser. I know that yesterday I mentioned I'm a part of the Children's Cancer Research Fund team for the Twin Cities Marathon. So I know I mentioned it yesterday, and I'm going to continue to mention it throughout the entire series, and talking more about, different facts and research, and talk more about the organization and what they do. 175 I have left. So if 20 of y'all, or even 175 of you guys, watch this video and donate $1, we'll reach the goal of that 750. And if I do reach that goal, I'm not gonna cap it at 750 and be like, all right, I got to my 750, I'm done. I'm still going to continue to fundraise and maybe share it with my colleagues at work, and continue posting on my social media, posting it on TikTok, see if anyone can donate and show support, because it'll only help the overall goal of the team to reach $10,000, which I believe right now, I know that yesterday I told you guys that we were a little over $8,000 raised. Right now we're at $83.61, so $8,000, $8,361, and that's the current state of our overall goal, which is amazing, because any money that we can do to fundraise, to donate for a great cause and a great impact for children and families, it just makes it a whole lot meaningful. And knowing that you're impacting the life of, even if it's one child and one family, to me that just, I'm gonna do my best to do that and do it tenfold. So we're gonna continue doing that and sharing that on my channel and documenting things like this, doing check-ins, whether that is every day or at the end of every video, to kind of give you guys a little bit of context and perspective on how I've been feeling. Because the past couple of weeks, I'm gonna be honest, I've been like high and low. Like I felt good about some runs, some other days I feel like I feel not so good about myself and my journey, my progress. But running has taught me a lot about life and taught me a lot about how you're constantly battling with your mind and negotiating with your mind. And your mind says, hey, you kind of feel a little pain in that lower left leg, maybe you should take a break. And your other side of the brain is like, no, you keep pushing, it's temporary. All this while you're just running and trying to be aware of making sure that you're stepping on the treadmill and not falling out or slipping or anything, or dragging your feet while you're running. But yeah, I'm doing a lot of yapping and not a lot of stretching. So I'm gonna cap off this little spiel to say that I am excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a 12.4 mile run. I'll probably won't film it, because as I did on my 10-mile run, I think when I did the 9 miles I took one break, but for the 10 miles I did no breaks, and I want to do the same for this tomorrow. I don't want to have to move the camera and stop, because that'll only just mess up the rhythm of consistency. I can just continue pushing myself, and if I stop, then to get back into the speed when it's going to be probably like a 2-hour run, I'm not trying to do that. So I'll probably catch up with you guys tomorrow morning, so to give you kind of the latest updates on how I'm feeling tomorrow in comparison to today. Because today I feel good, but I feel a little bit tired, and that's obviously because I haven't had a rest day this week, and it's been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so 4 days straight of running, and today was a somewhat long run, 4.3 miles, and tomorrow we have the long run of the week. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow pre-run, and then depending on if I have time or not, I'll catch up with you guys also after my run. And obviously I gotta take you guys to the Maria's concert, because this series is about challenging yourself, not having any limits in your mind or not placing any limits towards yourself, but it's also about having fun. And I want you to know that I work hard. It's exhausting at times. I get frustrated, but there's always things that I'm looking forward to, and tomorrow is something that I'm for sure looking forward to, because I love me some the Marias. So if you haven't listened to the Marias, go listen to the Marias, especially their album Submarine. I've been bumping that the entire week, and it's actually, I've put some of their songs while I'm running, but Bad Bunny, Drake, and Russ, that has been my rotation for this entire training plan. They have been bumping me into propelling me throughout the run. So, all right, a lot of yapping. I'm gonna finish up stretching and then I catch up with you guys mañana. I was just stretching and watching some of my Instagram short form videos that I filmed so far, and you know how I mentioned that I did 9 miles and I took only one break? I'm gonna fact check myself in 4K live right now. It wasn't no one break. The 9.3 miles that I did last week, it was probably one of the hardest workouts mentally and physically, and I took 6 breaks. So that way, if you're watching been keeping up with my Instagram and my TikTok, and you see me talking about I did 9 miles and I took 6 breaks, but then you come here on YouTube and I be like, nah, I did 9 miles, only took 1 break. You don't have to fact check me in the comment section, boy. I got you. I'm fact checking myself. I actually took 6 breaks in that 9-mile run. I took one at mile 2. I took another one in mile 3, 4, 5, 7, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 at 7, and then I think another one at 8. So yeah, I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real, and I'm fact checking myself. And also, if you see me that I didn't fact check myself, this is a safe space. We listen and we judge. I mean, we don't judge. Good morning. Today is the big day. It is last run of week 11, and it is the long run, 12.4 miles, which is just under 1 mile shy from being a half marathon. But in my mind, I'm just gonna take it as if it were a half marathon. This is the most I've ever ran before. Like during this training plan, over the course of the past couple of weeks, I've gone from 6 miles, which was at that time, a couple of weeks ago, the most I've ran. Then it was 8 miles. And then after 8 miles, it was 10 miles. And then after that, it was 9.3. And I'm going to break it down here because I'm going to look it up just to give you guys some facts as we talked about it yesterday. But yeah, 6.3 miles. I did it in an hour and 1 minute at a 9:44 pace. And then the following week, I did 8 miles at a 10:52 pace for an hour and 26. 2 weeks ago, I did 10 miles at an average pace of 10:58 for an hour and 49 minutes. And then last week, I did 9.32 miles at a 10:41 pace for an hour and 39 minutes. So that is pretty much the build-up in mileage to this week. This week is 12.4, which is today. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like bad at all as far as my body. I feel good. Body's energized. Obviously, I gotta warm up, which, well, I'll do when I get upstairs. Right now, it's about almost 9 minutes till 6 a.m. So it's 5:51, and it'll definitely take me 2 hours-ish to do 12.4. The goal will be to get as close to 2 hours, but not exceed too much of 2 hours, because I'm thinking of it being a half marathon, or close to a half marathon. So if I double it, then that will be my current time for the marathon per se. So body feeling good. Mentally, I'm not nervous at all. I'm more just thinking about the strategy of it, and making sure that I don't look at it as 12.4 mile. I look at it as more of like, all right, it is 6.2 miles, and then break that down into 3.1 miles, and then break that down into 3 miles are 4, 8, 12 laps on a track, and then kind of take it out of that way. It'll make it digestible, because if you look at the big number, oh my God, 12 miles, that's crazy. So that's how I kind of have been mentally challenging myself and strategizing to keep pushing, and just focusing on, hey, 1 mile is 4 laps. Once you get to 0.25 mile, you're already done 1 lap. 0.50, 2 laps. 0.75, 3 laps. And then once you get to a mile, then that's 4 laps. And then do that same thing repetitively until you get to your goal for that day. So that's what I've been doing, what has helped me so far. And I know that some runners in my social media platform have said, because a couple of weeks ago I was struggling with that 9.3 mile run, they said to do that, to break that number, the huge number, into chunks, so it makes it more digestible and less of a daunting task ahead. But we were feeling good. We're gonna have our water so we can hydrate. My goal is to go non-stop and take no breaks. I'm charging currently my Apple Watch. That's what I haven't gone to the gym, because I want to make sure that the Apple Watch is charged and I can have it on my wrist throughout the entire time. Because even though the time will be different between what the miles per pace I do on the Nike Run Club app compared to the Apple Watch, I just want to document it on the Apple Watch and see how the heart rate is doing and all that, because I don't think that necessarily comes through with the phone, because I carry my phone when running. But yeah, 12.4 miles, a huge undertaking. It's almost half a marathon. I've never ran that much in my life consecutively. So, yeah, it's all about taking it one step at a time, 1 mile at a time, and let's just do the work. So let's go warm up, stretch, and let's knock these 12.4 miles. Let's go. I'm at a loss for words, to be honest. That was the toughest run so far in this prep or training plan. 12.43 miles. It took me 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 26 seconds to get it done, and I ended up doing it at a 11:08 pace, which, in all honesty, I don't care. I started strong the first couple of miles. At mile 5, once I got to mile 5, I took a quick breather, and then got back to it for the remaining 7.2 miles. From mile 5 to mile 6.2, kind of cruised. Once I got to 6.2, I was mentally saying, all right, you got 6.2 miles left. And I started talking to myself, all right, you're at mile 20 in the marathon. This is the last stretch to finish the marathon. So I was able to kind of push myself mentally, and it was a mental battle. Those last 6.2 miles were fucking hard, excuse my language. Mile 6 was good, then it kind of started slowing down. Mile 7, mile 8, and then mile 9 kind of went back into a good pace. Then dropped at mile 10, dropped at mile 11 and 12, and then the remaining 0.43. Like, it felt, honestly, the last, I would say probably 4.5 miles, felt like I was running in quicksand. My feet felt heavy. it felt like I wasn't moving at all. I was just like stationary. So I ended up, the reason why I kind of slowed down is because I reduced the speed to be able to not lose my form, because man, it was I'm telling you, it's, oh man. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. 12.43 miles done. Now we're finished with week 11 of the prep. I'm going to enjoy the rest of today. Tomorrow I'm gonna take a rest day because I felt it today in the run that my legs were just tired from this entire week, running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yesterday, without any rest in between. And yesterday I did 4.3 miles. So your boy needs a rest day for sure, and hydration. Like, I literally had this on the treadmill, the cup holder, and it was like halfway. In the last like 4.5 miles, I'm like, I can't wait to drink my water and also drink cold water like with ice. And then when I get to the stadium for work, I'm going to fucking get 2 or 3 Gatorades, man. I need some electrolytes in my system. But yeah, man, felt proud. Felt a little bit frustrated halfway through. But now that I'm done with it, I feel proud that I was able to just take one break at mile 5 and nail the last 7.2 miles. Just grinding it out, pain, but we endured it, we pushed through, and yeah, we finished strong. So it's like 8:50. I gotta go down, stretch, hydrate, shower, and get ready to go to work. So I'll probably catch up with you guys at the concert or before we head to the concert tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna get up. I don't know how I'm gonna get up from here. Oh my God. It is Friday evening. We are, as you can see, ready for what?
The Marias.
The Marias concert. We're really excited. And yeah, my legs have been feeling so tired after the 12.4 mile run this morning. So now that that's done, we can enjoy our evening, because I mentioned this to you guys before, but we're driving to Colorado tomorrow early in the morning, and it's like a 13.5-hour drive. So it's a long drive. So this is kind of starting our weekend off right, seeing the Marias. I'm gonna try and catch a couple of clips so you guys can see the vibe. But we got, a little dark action, because that's more or less what the vibe is for the Marias concert. And yeah, so we'll see you guys once we get to the Armory, which is where the concert will be at. Okay, so we got some goodies. Corbin got the Maria's submarine, I think. Yeah. Tank top, and then I got a signed poster, which I'm hyped to frame and have it at the apartment, or eventually frame it and put it somewhere. So exciting.
hace recordar a mi familia, que ahorita mismo está en Puerto Rico. Están en la isla de Vieques disfrutando del sol, de la playa, de comida bien rica.
So we just got back from the Maria's concert at the Armory here in Minneapolis. Huge fans since Cariño, Clueless, and all those songs up to now, Submarine. And I introduced my beautiful to Submarine, and her favorite song is Paranoia, and No One Noticed. So what were your thoughts on the concert? So she's listened to their songs and their albums, but hasn't seen them perform. I've seen clips of them at other shows, and this is the first time live. But what are your thoughts on the show?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Literally 10, I think so, because she's just like passionate and fun, and all her songs are a vibe, and she's like amazing. I think she's one of the best people I've seen live. They are amazing.
They're amazing. The set was fabulous.
Yeah.
She incorporated, she said Minneapolis. She talked with the crowd. She talked in Spanish. She was very personable and said, enjoy, dance, have a good time. So I love that aspect. So I totally agree with Corbin. It was a 10 out of 10. So she's going to go wash her face and get some rest. But I'm going to continue with you guys and kind of give you a little backstory because I want to give you some context. So back when I was in college, probably I would say circa 2018, I think I was looking or listening to music on Spotify, and I found Cariño, the song from the Marias, and it was in Spanish, and obviously I'm from Puerto Rico, so that song was a vibe. And then I got introduced to Clueless, which is from the Marias as well. And ever since then, I've been listening to the Marias over the years. And I think it was a few years ago, the collab I didn't know I needed ended up happening. The Marias did a featuring in Bad Bunny's Un Verano Sin Ti, A Summer Without You. And the song was Otro Atardecer, Another Sunset. And it was amazing. So they performed that song at tonight's concert. But yeah, so to see and hear all those songs throughout the years on Spotify, for workouts, on late night drives in college, now post-college, it's a full circle moment for me. And to be live and hear those songs live, I had chills for most of the night. And introducing Corbin to the Marias and Submarine, the album, which is amazing because then she felt like she knew most of the song because I've been like bumping the Marias for quite some time now. But yeah, that's kind of like the story. Ever since college, I've been listening to the Marias. And Maria, which is the main vocalist of the band, she is from Puerto Rico. So that's why also that connection with the Marias that I really love. And I showed you guys earlier that Corbin got a tank top, which by the way, you gotta check and see if it's good. It's a white tank top. It says the Marias, which is pretty cute. And then let me see if I can set you guys up here. I'm doing this on the phone. I don't know if it looks good or not. Hopefully it does. But I'm not gonna set up my camera because it's like 11 p.m. We gotta get some rest before our road trip tomorrow. But I love the merch. I love the vinyls that they had and everything. The hats, there was a black hat that said no one noticed, which is pretty dope. But I thought this would be sick to have, to kind of have a memento of the experience at the Submarine concert here in downtown. And then here it is. Look at how effing sick is this poster right here. So you have, I'm gonna try it, yeah, right there. So you have obviously Submarine tour because of the album Submarine, extended because I believe they toured last year and decided to incorporate dates. I'm glad that Minneapolis was one of those dates. And then obviously the Marias is the band's name. And yeah, shows and festivals from July through September 2025. And then you can see, I'm trying to like bend it a little bit. Right here it says August 1st, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then you have the signatures from the 4 band members. So this is a pretty cool art piece. I'm gonna try and see what size this poster is because it doesn't seem like it's gonna fit in one of these frames. But this is definitely gonna be framed and it's gonna be kind of like a nice memorabilia for me and to have to remember the Marias. My first show watching the Marias live. So that is pretty much the entire concert. I'm gonna be honest. Corbin and I were both, we were both tired. Especially I did 12 miles in the morning, as you guys know, and my left leg was just like hurting, like at the hip, and then at the lower leg, right by my ankle. So we enjoyed the concert. We loved it. Like Corbin said, 10 out of 10 experience. Once we got out of there and started walking back, both our feet hurt and our legs hurt. But I am super glad that we were able to see the Marias live, start the weekend on a good note. You know, did the long run in the morning. That was kind of a lot, 2.5 hours of running. So it's nice to do that in the morning and then enjoy and have fun in the evening with Corbin to start the weekend. Because then tomorrow we're doing a road trip to Colorado, which I'm gonna take you guys with me because it's Corbin and I's first time going to Colorado. So we're going for a wedding, one of our friends' weddings. And we're also going to visit one of her brothers and one of her sisters. They live over there in Colorado. So I'm taking my drone. I'm taking my camera. Y'all are going to be with us in our road trip of 13 and a half hours. So, hey, the Marias, they ain't stopping. Tomorrow on the road trip, we're for sure going to be bumping the Marias for a decent amount of time. But I'm extremely glad that we were able to see them in person in the show. And coolest thing, the Marias has songs in English, Spanish, and then a mix of both. They finished the last, I think, 4 songs all in Spanish, which was a nice way to wrap up. Man, I can't say enough. But that is a wrap for tonight, Friday. We actually got to hydrate because we got to make sure that we are hydrated. We were there in the GA area, general admission standing. We've never been in that. There's a lot of people in the area. We were trying to like find a gap, but we were able to have a great time, a 10 out of 10 concert. If they ever come to Minneapolis or if they ever go to Puerto Rico, just know that I'm going to do my best to be wherever the Marias is at. So I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.
Everyone's dressed up here, but looks
Colorado, baby. Was it Parker, Colorado, to be specific?
Yes. South of Denver. Population 64,000.
Wait, Denver Broncos. I forgot what team was over here. Denver Broncos. Well, we're visiting.
We're in Broncos Nation, so we
Broncos
have to tread
Nation.
carefully.
We are visiting Saifa, Corbin's brother.
What up?
We have a wedding today, later in the day, in the afternoon, and we're here about to eat some brunch with Corbin and then Tanner.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, it's nice area over here.
Get your content in, brother.
What do you have there?
I don't remember what it's called.
It's your French toast.
Bread pudding, French toast. We got a little toast, potatoes, bacon, eggs, fruit, sausage links. Tanner got
Biscuits and gravy.
biscuits and gravy, and then
I got the smothered burritos.
burrito over that.
10 out of 10. I'm hopeful.
Thank God I found you there in the snow. All I wanted was a little affection. They only care for their own reflection. I tried to blend in, but I can't fake it. I don't wanna be someone else. Honey, all the lies just taste so sweet. Honestly,
How was brunch?
It was actually really good. I love that restaurant, and their dinner food's really good. Now their brunch spot is a hit. I definitely recommend if you ever come to Parker, Colorado.
Also, the previous clip to this one that you guys saw, that guy was actually painting like basically the scenery.
Yeah,
He picked a spot and he was doing a painting
really cool
of it. So that was pretty
Bob
dope.
Ross.
Bob Ross, like. Ooh, ooh. I know that it's been actually a couple of days since we've been here in Colorado. We actually got here Saturday night at around 10:30 p.m. and it's Tuesday today, so Saturday we pretty much were driving the entire day. We hit traffic in Omaha, Nebraska. That delayed our trip, and we ended up arriving here at Corbin's brother's house, or townhouse, at 10:30 on Saturday. And then Sunday we pretty much went to brunch, which you guys saw in one of the earlier clips, with him and his roommate Tanner. So we did that for lunch, and then her brother Corbin and I went to a wedding of Corbin's friend. And then Sunday, or yesterday, we drove early in the morning to come to her sister's house, which is where we're currently at, to visit her and her nephew, Corbin's nephew, Noah. So that's what we pretty much did yesterday. I don't think I filmed anything yesterday. It was pretty much just a family day of seeing the baby, which is no longer a baby. He's probably he's 1.5, but just enjoying time with him, enjoying time with Corbin's sister and Corbin's brother-in-law as well. So I pretty much, as far as running, I wasn't able to run on Saturday because of the trip, of the road trip. Sunday, I didn't run, and then Monday, which was yesterday, I didn't run. But today I got to run. So that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm just kind of prepping myself and warming up for today's run, which this is a nice neighborhood, so I'll be running, kind of looping around for about 45 minutes, which is today's run. It's a recovery run. So it is actually 92 degrees, and it's noon. So I wanted to run around this time because it's gonna be hot, and I wanted to kind of obviously prepare for the different types of environment that I could be facing on marathon day. I know that for marathon day, the race starts at 8 a.m., which last year it was a little bit colder in temperature. It was around 40-ish degrees, gloomy, pretty much chilly. And then towards the end of the race, and what I mean by that, another of Corbin's brothers ran the marathon last year, so we were kind of, meeting him at the start line and different points throughout the race. And by the end of it, we were in St. Paul, which is where the capital of St. Paul, which is where the finish line was at, and the weather was like 70s, 80s, nice weather. So in preparation for that, I am running at different environments. So that's what we're gonna do right now. 45 minutes recovery run. We'll see how this one goes after 3 days of not running and a lot of driving. So my lower back, my legs feel tight, so we're gonna make sure that we're warming those up before our run, because so I am gonna go on a run. I'm gonna stretch, warm up, and then I'll catch up with you guys after the run, so that way we can kind of touch base. Just finished up the recovery run for today, and let me tell you, taking 3 days off or resting for 3 days definitely didn't help. As soon as I started running, my hip, bro, I felt like I was running like how people that do like speed walking competitions look. I felt like I was doing the same. First part of the run, I was struggling just to get my left leg warmed up, specifically hip, lower leg. I took a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 breaks in the entire run. One at minute 13. Sorry. One at minute 13, one at minute 17, minute 20, minute 25, minute 28, minute 31:30, minute 35, and then minute 40 of the 45-minute run. Excuse me. I'm gassed, bro. I'm gonna put right here my stats so you guys can take a look at it. But I did 4.61 miles at a pace of 9:47, which I'm somewhat proud of that I was able to kind of go under 10 minutes, because in the neighborhood here, around the block, there's a street that literally goes like several blocks. So I was able to get out of this road, turn left, and then go straight. And before getting to like the interstate, I would turn around and then come back to here and then do the same and try to come back. So that's why you see the little line straight, because literally it was like boop. But yeah, it kind of felt frustrating to, as soon as I started running, I felt the struggle, and that just goes to show, man. I mean, past couple days with the driving, with the wedding, I haven't been proactive in prioritizing just nailing the runs, whether early in the morning or finding some gap in the day to knock those miles or those runs out. And today definitely hit me like a truck. Also, weather didn't help. 92 degrees, about 17% humidity or something like that. But yeah, 92 degrees, so it was somewhat hot. And I don't know, since we're in Colorado, what the elevation is where we're at. But yeah, when I tell you, it was like I was struggling throughout the entire run. I mean, I took 8 breaks in a 45-minute span. Like each break was like what, 2 minutes, 2 to 3.5 minutes. So 45-minute run ended up becoming like almost an hour and a half. So yeah, now as soon as I got here, I was like, Corbin, can you bring me some water? So that's what I'm drinking right here to hydrate. And then eventually we're gonna go to Shields in about 30 minutes. So I'll see if there's a gas station nearby where I can get some Gatorades for today, and then the rest of the trip. Because tomorrow we're driving early in the morning back to Minnesota. So yeah, this weekend has been fun so far, but it definitely has kind of affected my running. And maybe I'm not making excuses at all, because I'm the one that hasn't been prioritizing the runs. And today goes to show that's if you don't prioritize taking care of your body, whether that's stretching, whether that's hydrating, and moving your body, whether that's running, walking, exercising, your body will feel it for sure, especially if you're trying to go outside and run 92 degrees like me. But yeah, 45-minute recovery run done. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was really frustrated running. I was really, really frustrated. But hey, what can you do? There's gonna be times in your life, days in your life, that are not gonna feel the best. There's gonna be runs that are not gonna feel the best. There's gonna be workouts that are not gonna feel the best. You just gotta push through it. And yeah, that's what we did today. Push through it. So those were the stats for today. I'll take the 9:47 pace per mile as a huge victory for today, and the fact that we were able to, get the run done and completed. That's all you can ask for. I say this always, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm looking at you. One day at a time, one step at a time, and that's with running, with life. One day at a time, one step at a time.
Are you excited to get your feet? What are we even doing? See if you can get some insoles.
Yeah.
It's probably been $20. You stand on your heels. Is that showing it?
Yeah.
What does it say? Oh, it says your link.
Oh, look at that.
Those are your feet. Not really. Do left. Oh, let's do both.
Wait, so
Pressure. Oh, orthopedics. And it says footwear. It'll tell you what kind of footwear to get.
okay.
Oh, this is what's recommended. Ooh.
So that's the L2300.
And then it will
which is
recommend
this one.
footwear if you want to pick.
Athletic sneakers.
Athletic.
I actually got or am getting the tights, the short tights.
Compression shorts?
Compression shorts for running, and then I got a compression tank top and some Nike socks. So I didn't end up getting the insoles because I wanted to go to the Minneapolis running store, and then I can measure my feet again and have expert advice on what shoes or what do I need with my feet. So, but the fact that they had a little feet scanner thing, that was pretty cool. Oh, they even have an arcade here. Oh, there is.
Do you think they come out on this way? Or do you think they come out on the other way?
Could be on the other way.
What is it?
It's like its own little mall. Look at this.
Oh, they don't have. I want the cotton candy one, but I can never find that flavor.
Yeah. That is pretty sick.
Okay, we can tell you're good. Are you ready?
They're kind of hard to dribble. You gotta get a little
They're foam.
step back. Cash. Pretty sick that they have that. I'm trying to see if they have the NBA balls. Because if you're a basketball player, you know that the NBA balls have a specific touch and feel. But I don't know if they have them here. Look at all the basketballs that they have. A wall of them. They got NCAA, NBA. They also got the hoops. It's pretty sick. They got the NCAA. Where's the NBA? Nah, it's not these ones. Nah. No, that's pretty dope though. This place is crazy. They have a little bit of everything. They have sports. They have golf. They have like outdoor things. They got tents over there. I'm in the sports section. You know, they have like bandanas, arm sleeves, knee pads. Oh, they even have bowling alley. Crazy. We're in Corbin Land.
I'm overwhelmed.
All the Owalas in Hydro Flask. Look at that.
This color, I feel like everyone wants to.
You got options upon options upon options upon options upon options over there. Oh, you thought it was just this aisle? Another aisle. We got this aisle, we got this aisle, then we got another aisle right here. And then you thought that we were done? Another aisle right here. What is that? Freezer dryer. Yeah, we're in the section that I'm not aware of. Outside cooking, grills, pots and pans.
Slap your mama.
Slap you. They got the seasonings.
Hot blend and white pepper.
They got all the seasonings. This is the fishing side. They got the nets. They got the little, oh,
Cut a fish.
she caught me. They got the little, got the rail. How do you call those? Fishing rails?
Fishing poles.
Fishing poles. They got fishing poles over there. And a bunch of other. As you can see, I'm not no expert in this type of environment. Damn. 120. Crazy. we are back in our apartment, which means we are back in Twin Cities, Minnesota. We arrived here yesterday. Yesterday was a long day. I'm trying to stretch as I speak because my back is tight and my hip is messed up right now. But yesterday, it was a long day. We started driving at 3 a.m. and we were supposed to arrive around 5:30. And then I don't know why I put the wrong gas on the car when we were already 50 miles in. So we didn't know what to do. Ended up coming back to Corbin's sister's house, which is where we stayed the last 2 days. And we figured out, talked with Corbin's dad, and we just filled up the tank again with the regular gas, and then we just headed our way, and that took us like an hour to figure out. So it was quite stressful early in the morning, and then from there on out, it was just driving and driving and driving, and driving and driving. We did like 5 to 6 stops for gas and to get snacks and stuff and go to the bathroom. That we ended up getting here to the apartment around 7:45 p.m. So that was just a lot of hours just sitting down in a car, just driving. So just my lower back, like I think I have a back spasm. So I gotta stretch today, see if I can drink something to make it feel better. My hip was also hurting, and I think it's primarily, obviously, it's been hurting for the past few weeks whenever I'm running, but also because I was sitting down for a long period of time because we drove there, so that was like 12 and a half hours, almost 13, or maybe a little bit more than that because of all the stops. And then from Corbin's brother's house to her sister's house was like 2 hours, so that was more driving, and then obviously driving back was a bunch of more hours as well. So my body is probably really stiff, and obviously in addition to that, I didn't ran for 3 days straight. I didn't run Saturday because we were driving Sunday and Monday, and then I ran on Tuesday. And as soon as I started running, it was just, I was running outside, and you guys saw that. I was running outside, and as soon as I started running, my hip was hurting, my leg was hurting. And then past 2 days, my back has just been spasming. So today's recovery run was legit a recovery run at an easy pace, as you can see on the screen. 11 minute 45 or 46 pace per mile, which, like I said, it's just, for me, it's just getting back on track. I'm not caring about the pace. I'm not caring about anything else. It's just taking myself back into the body feeling good, the body feeling comfortable. And another thing that you saw at Shields, I measured my feet, and I actually got my feet scan results. Once I come back from work, we'll kind of dive deep into that, or briefly, because I was debating whether to get the insoles there or go to a running store here in Minneapolis where they would basically do the same thing, but there will be someone making you run, making you, scan your feet, so that way they can recommend shoes, they can recommend insoles and things of that nature. So I didn't bite the bullet in getting the insoles over there in Colorado, but it was cool to have that experience to scan my feet and kind of get some measurements and things of that nature and learn more about my body. So that was pretty cool. As you saw, I'm literally decked out in full Nike. I got the Nike hat, which you've already seen on this channel, but I actually got this tank top at Shields, and then the Nike running tights from Shield as well, and then the Nike socks that you saw today those were all from Shield. So it felt nice to kind of, get some aura points from getting these clothing, running attire items. But yeah, this is my first time running with tights, the shorts, and honestly felt good not to have any, just to be free to run and not have any chafing when running because of the shorts that I'm wearing, or wearing shorts that, even though you may not notice, they add a slight little bit of weight, and then if they get sweaty or wet, then that adds even more weight. But yeah, felt good to run today. Obviously the pace was a little bit slower than my typical recovery run pace, but I just didn't want, after this entire trip of sitting down and driving for long periods of time, I didn't want to like push my body and then injure myself for real. But yeah, that's pretty much how I'm currently feeling. Honestly, even in my head, I'm not like worrying too much about the injuries. I'm just trying to take everything as it comes and learn from it, and even fine tune some little details as far as hydration, as far as stretching and warming up and cooling down, and just taking care of my body overall instead of just running, prioritizing other aspects as well as nutrition. But yeah, the trip was amazing. It was Corbin and I's first time in Colorado, so we had a great time. Saturday we drove pretty much the entire day. Sunday we went to brunch with Corbin's brother and Corbin's brother's roommate. So nice spot in Parker, Colorado. It's called Parker's Garage. So that was pretty nice. Then we had Corbin's friend's wedding at a mansion, which was pretty sick. I've never been to a mansion. So we had the wedding, then we had the reception, and we pretty much were there the entire rest of the Sunday until like 10 p.m. or 10:30. And then on Monday, we woke up early in the morning and drove to Corbin's sister's house, which was 2 hours away, and just spent time with Corbin's nephew, spent time with Corbin's sister and her brother-in-law as well, and just had a nice last couple of days, enjoying some time off before coming back to another long drive and coming back to work. But yeah, really, really good trip. However, if we ever go to Colorado, we ain't driving 13 hours, bro. We're taking a flight. Because, yeah, my body can't, like, even, I'm young, 27 years old. My body felt super tired, super sore, tight. And, yeah, so that's all I gotta say. I gotta stretch before I leave to work. Because last week, I did a bunch of long runs and recovery runs, and then it was too tight between work and when I finished my run that I didn't end up stretching. I ended up stretching later in the day, which I shouldn't do. But that's what we're gonna do, this stretch, shower, and then continue about our day, because we're back at work today, and today's Thursday, August 7. This right here has become my safe space to catch up with you guys, update you on my progress, how my week has been, and how I personally have been feeling, because it just, after the trip literally took a toll on Corbin and myself. Like my back and hips, my entire body was just so affected by the long drive that we did to Colorado, both to go there and also to come back, that the past, I would say, today's Friday, the past probably 6 days or 7 days, I've been feeling a huge discomfort in my lower back that it's like, it's been spasming my back for real. I ran on Thursday and I ran on Wednesday, and I did, my recovery run without going too crazy because my back wasn't feeling good. Yesterday I took some rest, and then today I was going to do a recovery run, and then once again my back was just spasming. Like if I sat down for a little, like let's say 5 minutes to get up, I would like my lower back would spasm, and it's just like I just been trying my best to stretch, but even stretching has been hard in certain areas, like my left side of my body. Like when I'm stretching on the floor, my left leg, I used to last week to get to my and grab my toes. Now I can barely get within this reach of my toes, and it's just because of my lower back. It's just been messing me up, and it's just been discouraging to go through this little injury. But I've been trying to like stretch, and I've honestly haven't been hydrating well, so I wonder if it's because of that. But yeah, just been trying to kind of get back on track. I've been backed up with some of my runs because I had to take several days to rest from running and doing any physical activity, because the last thing I want is my back to get even more injured, and then that puts me back even more. Yesterday I was able to kind of, plan the remainder of my training plan up to marathon day, October 5th. And there's going to be certain days this weekend and next week, and I believe maybe a day the following week after that, where I'll have to do 2 runs in a day, one in the morning and then one in the evening. For then the remaining, I would say probably 6-7 weeks, I could be like, do a recovery run, have a rest day, recovery or speed run, rest day, and long run the remainder of the training plan. So that kind of make me feel good about where I'm at, despite some of the rest days that I've taken because of my back, because of my leg. And I've just been, like I always say, I always try to take it one day at a time and remind myself there's still long ways to go until marathon day. And the focus is just prioritizing my health, prioritizing getting back, no pun intended, getting my back in rhythm and, injury free or back spasm free. And that's kind of the latest update. The trip was amazing. The wedding was great. It was nice to see Corbin's brother, her sister, her nephew, brother-in-law, and kind of step outside of, the routine that we have here with work, and just enjoy some time outside of Minnesota. So we did that, and then this week has just been just tough on my body, just trying to, adapt to this like growing pain in my back. But now I feel that in the next couple of days it'll feel better. I just need to continue to stretch, continue to hydrate, and continue to resting well, so that way I can get back on track and continue with my training. But I wanted to tap in with you guys, not only for that, but also to talk to you about the foot scan or feet scan that I did the other day, which it was amazing that I was able to get my feet scanned and I got my results. And I'm going to do like a quick little rundown of what my feet look like. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is literally a 3D scan of both my feet, left and right foot. So it's interesting to see how my feet look being scanned. Apparently the median shoe size is 13.5, and I knew that in the past I think I was 12.5, so I would buy shoes that were either 12.5 or 13 depending on the shoe, because it fluctuates sometimes. So as you can see, here are some stats on my feet length and dimensions. Obviously bedtime, because I gotta go to bed, but it's Friday, so I gotta work on editing this video. So I'm not gonna go to bed at 10:30. So yeah, I got length, width, instep, arch height, girth, which all these things I'm fairly new to, and I don't know how to break it down. But based on what you're seeing on the screen right now, you can see that there's a little bit of difference between the length of both feet, the width, the instep, which I imagine the instep means like how, I don't know. I don't know. Arch height, I think it's crazy though. 34 on the left hand side, 64 on the right foot. And then girth, left 62nd and right 49th. Let me take this sleep thing off of here. So yeah, that's pretty much. And here, as you can see, I'm kind of like clicking on the width step. It shows you where they are in comparison to each other. Arch, height, girth, and that's basically all these right here at the bottom. They're here at the top. Length, width, instep, arch, height, girth. So this right here is a good for me to kind of have a better idea. I'll just stop it right here. There we go. Have a better idea of how my feet are, because I do need to get insoles, but I don't want to bite. I don't want to buy the first one that I see. I just want to get expert advice on the type of insole that I want, because I'm gonna give you kind of like a quick rundown of the shoes that I've been wearing since I started my training. So I started running on these, which are the Nike Air Journey or Nike Journey Run. These have been good for me. They're just like a nice training shoe to start with. So this is what I started training on for the first week or so of the training plan. Then Corbin got me these for my birthday, which are the Hoka Mac 2 or Hoka Mac X. Yeah, Hoka Mac X. And these have been great for me for my long runs and everything in between. For the past, I would say, several weeks, I've been solely using these because of the level of, cushion that they have, and it just feels smooth when I'm running and I have cushion between the floor or the treadmill or the road and my foot. So this has been my ride or dies for the past couple of weeks, the Hoka Mac X. But I also have these right here, the Eliud Kipchoge Nike React X, or I believe they are the Air Zoom Pegasus 41. And it's pretty cool because it says here the name of the series, No Human is Limited, which is pretty dope. And then here it says it's just the start with Eliud Kipchoge's signature on this side, Eliud Kipchoge's signature on that side. So I've been using this every now and then for recovery runs, but definitely the Hokas have been my go-to. I am potentially exploring getting the Vaporflies, which you probably saw a clip when I went to Shields of the Vaporflies, because that's the ones that Eliud Kipchoge ran the marathon in, and ones that a lot of people that I've seen on YouTube that run marathons have used for their marathon. So I'm like, that could be a good shoe, and it's plated, so it gives you that extra bounce when you're running. So maybe if I don't run these for the marathon, I'll run on the Vaporfly 3s. But I want to get insoles for either these or the Vaporflies, because I just want my legs to feel good for 26 miles, because I'm at that point of the training where I'm already, this week, I think it's Sunday or Monday, I have a 13-mile run, or 13.1, which is half a marathon, which it'll probably be like almost 2 hours of running. I want to start, now that we're about 9 weeks out of the marathon, I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing the insoles, so that way my hip, my lower leg, my back doesn't hurt, because I can guarantee that the reason that my lower back and hip are hurting is because my left foot is not correctly landing, and that just affects my entire left hand side from my hip or lower back up to my foot. So that's definitely something that I will probably do on Sunday. I'm going to try and see if I find time on Sunday and talk with Corbin so that we can go to the running store here in Minneapolis so that I can get my feet scanned and actually get expert advice, because I do know that in Minneapolis they have the running store where you can measure your feet, they have you run and do all those fun things, and so that way I can see which insoles they recommend. But that's pretty much it for this week in this video. Definitely a very testing and challenging week, but as I always say, we're going to take it one day at a time, and right now my focus is just getting my back healthy again so that we can continue to take it up a level each day in our training. But this is episode 2 of No Human is Limited training for Twin Cities Marathon series. I'll definitely catch up with you guys next week for episode 3. One day at a time, one step at a time. Peace.